Hi, and thank you for watching today's devotionable. These are brief devotions for busy people. You know, this upcoming Sunday is Mission Sunday. It's obviously an important Sunday for me as your missions pastor. But it's a day that we get to share with you many of the things that are happening in our church in the area of missions. And this week with the three devotionables that we have on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we've been sharing about the three different emphases of our missions ministry. On Monday, you heard from Ryan talk about how we are to go and pray. And today I want to tell you about how as a church we are called to go and to give. If you have your Bible, you can go ahead and turn to Philippians chapter 4. That's where we'll be today. And the Apostle Paul, he's writing a letter to the church in Philippi. And this is a group of people that he loved. He had a deep relationship with them. And partly because in Acts chapter 16, we learned that the church in Philippi was a generous church. And they took care of the Apostle Paul, and they gave him housing while he was with them. And what we see in Philippians chapter 4 is that this generosity continues even as the Apostle Paul finds himself further down the line in his missions ministry, and now he finds himself in prison. And what the Apostle Paul wants to do is he wants to send a word of thanksgiving to the church for supporting him financially. So let me read in chapter 4 of Philippians, beginning in verse 14. Paul writes this, he says, "Yet it was kind of you to share in my trouble. And you Philippians yourselves know that in the beginning of the gospel, when I left Macedonia, no church entered into partnership with me in giving and receiving except you alone. Even in Thessalonica, you sent me help for my needs once and again. Not that I seek the gift, but I seek the fruit that increases to your credit. I have received full payment, and more I am well supplied, having received from Epaphroditus the gifts you sent, a fragrant offering, a sacrifice acceptable and pleasing to God." You might wonder in this passage, why did the Apostle Paul need money while he was in prison? Well, prisons looked different back then. You didn't get 3 square meals a day for free. In fact, in ancient prisons, you needed to have family or friends bring you a meal. And that's exactly what the church in Philippi has done. They have provided money for the food, and they've also sent this servant to take care of the Apostle Paul and to bring meals to him. And we might ask ourselves, why is this church so generous to Paul? Well, it's because they believed in his ministry. They believed in the importance of expanding the mission and planting new churches. And we should do the same thing. And I think this is a great kind of biblical proof text that shows as a local church, we should be about supporting missions financially. As we look back on the past, there's so much for us to celebrate as a church. In fact, when it comes to giving, over the last 10 years, so for the past decade, did you know that our church has given $2 million to missions through the Great Commission offering and through our giving to the cooperative program? That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money that we could have spent on other things. But missions is a core value for us as a church, and we believe in the importance of it. And that's why we sacrificially give to missions. And as we press forward in this command to go and to give, I want you to know on this coming Sunday at Mission Sunday, you're going to hear about our Great Commission offering. You're going to hear our new goal. And I'm excited to share with you that we're going to be supporting 2 ministries, 2 organizations that are important to us as a congregation that have never been in the GCO before. And that's 5 Loaves, and that's African Children's Mission. Both of these organizations are doing wonderful work in sharing the gospel with children in Africa. But let me just say this as I close out this devotion. As we reflect on Philippians chapter 4, we're reminded of a couple things again, that only the church in Philippi chose to give to the Apostle Paul. Not all churches were faithful in carrying out that task. So not only should we be faithful in carrying out the task of giving to missions and to missionaries, I would hope that the affection that Paul has for the church in Philippi would be matched by the affections that our missionaries that we support would have towards us and how we give to them generously. So 9th and O, let us 9th and go, and let us be all about going and giving to missions. Thanks for watching today's devotionable.